Hi guys, twist, wig, like I can start doing my own retwist now. Every now and then, I was like, oh, they're locks. Hi guys, so I wanted to do a video about my loc journey. I officially hit a year back in March and we are now in May, which is crazy. So I'm like a year and a couple of months. So yeah, I wanted to just bring you guys along with my hair care journey as well, because I do love to take care of my hair and I love trying new styles on them. And for the most part, I do my own hair, so I think like DIYs and tutorials and all that good stuff would be useful. I love hair. I love doing my hair, kind of. I wanted to bring you guys along because there are so many people who want to be on this journey that hasn't started, or that are on this journey and just need a little motivation. I know when I first started, I was looking at anybody's and everybody's locks just to get an idea of what mine could possibly be. So I wanted to make this video because my video could possibly help someone else. So why not, right? All right, so I was gonna use my laptop, but I keep getting, I can't remember my password. Like, do y'all ever have times like that? So anyways, I'm gonna use my phone to kind of keep track of like times and dates and things like that. I have tons and tons of videos, so I'll just be inserting them as we kind of talk about my journey. I'm trying to find the beginning. That is where we're gonna start. So actually, before I do that, this is what my hair looked like before I transitioned into locks. So I have tons and tons of videos. I became natural, like I was really trying the natural journey 2017, 2016, maybe the end of 2015, like somewhere around those years. I was like exploring transitioning into just wearing my natural hair, my natural curls. Now I started doing that by straightening it. It was more so of like not wearing weave as much and just wearing my natural hair. So I did like dye it. I dyed it red, and then I dyed it like brown one time, and then I added highlight. I personally feel like I was doing a lot with my hair. Like it would be fried, dyed, and laid to the side, okay? Like just a little too much heat on my hair. But yeah, I was doing a lot of braids, twists, wigs. I was wearing wigs big for like the last 3-4 years, maybe. Yeah, and then I moved to Cleveland and I found some like people who could do really good silk presses. So I was getting silk presses every now and then. And then I dyed my hair orange and I hated it. I hated it. It was supposed to be like this auburn orange color. The top, she didn't dye it correctly, so my roots were really brighter than the rest of my hair, and that's what happens when you don't do the roots last. You do them first because the heat traps it quicker. So anyways, I hated this hairstyle. So then I went to another girl and I had her just color correct it and like bring it down a couple of notches. So then I was wearing that, and then I was still trying to like wear my natural curly hair, as you can see in these pictures. And then I was tired of that and I was like, you know what, I'm going back to black. I was still putting a lot of heat in my hair. My curls were definitely damaged at this point. Like you can tell when it was that like orange auburn color, like my ends were straight. Like I was killing my hair. I got one last silk press before I got my locks because my birthday was coming up. So I took pictures. This was like right before my appointment. And then I started making videos. I started recording my journey. So here we go. So I probably made this video February 9th, which was like a couple of days after my birthday. And my appointment was on the 11th. So that was the absolutely last time I ever straightened my hair. And we can watch this video. Okay, so I decided to document, I should have been documenting this entire week, but I'm deciding to document a couple of days before my locks. And I'm I'm in between. Like, I'm very excited, but I'm very fucking nervous because if you know, you know that sometimes your starter locks just need a little bit of time to grow, and you gotta enjoy the journey. Okay, so February 11th, I washed my hair. This is what my hair looked like. My curl pattern at that point in time, again, it was very damaged. It wasn't horrible. Like, the curls were definitely still there, but it needed work. We kind of just let it dry in that state, and I can't remember if she blow dried it out or not. I don't think she did. I think we just let it dry in that state and she combed it out. And then we put in like my grid pattern and the sections that it was in. It literally took forever. So originally I was debating between sister locks and small starter locks. Sister locks are so pretty, but here's the reason why I decided to go with small traditional locks instead of sister locks. One, my whole reason in transitioning into this journey, let's get into it. Actually, this is what we need to get into. So my reason, just like my reason for trying to wear less wigs and weaves and things like that and start wearing my natural hair more back in like 2017, 2018, was just because I want to feel pretty in my natural state. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm only pretty when my hair is done, but like I'm only pretty when I have long hair. I'm only pretty when I have this or that. And I would do a lot of that. So I was trying to build my self-confidence by wearing my natural hair more. And then I kind of hit that same state back in, when did I get this? 2024. So I felt like I always needed to keep my hair done and to be pretty or to be presentable, and that took it takes a lot of effort. Like, you gotta plan your hairstyle, you gotta find people to do it, pay your deposit, get the hair, figure out what you like, what you don't like, who's reliable, because nowadays hairstylists, like, it's kind of scary finding good reliable ones. At least I remember being in Cleveland, there were a few times where I was like, wow, like I can't believe I'm going through this just to get my hair done. So the stress and everything of it all, I was getting so overwhelmed by the process of it, overwhelmed thinking about it, overwhelmed getting it done, right? So yeah, I was like, you know what? I think right now is the time. Like, I want to feel in love with myself again. I want to love my natural hair again. I want my natural hair to be healthy. Like, wigs are nice, yes, but how protective is it? Just like, you know, straightening your hair and things like that. Like, they're protective styles, but if you really aren't taking care of it, it can still be just as damaging. And I would have moments where I would take care of my hair and then I would kind of just be like, whatever, like I don't really care. So I wasn't consistent with it. And I let so many people play in my hair too, which I felt like definitely made a difference. Now I'm trying to just stick to one person. Again, I would definitely just try to find one solid person and have them for my time being, for whatever I need, if that is possible. Just because I don't like the idea of having several different stylists. Everybody learns differently. Some people don't learn the correct way. Some people don't even know how to manage certain hair types. So, yeah. Okay, so anyways, where am I at? I decided that I wanted to love myself again and wake up and go. That is what intrigued me with locks. Like, I spend so much time in the morning doing my hair, and then my baby hairs alone, like sometimes when they don't want to act right, like it can take a bit. So I just hated getting up and doing my hair. I hated doing my hair. So now, going back to why I chose small traditional locks, I don't know why I can't say that right now, over sister locks, is because sister locks are so cute, right? But they require so much maintenance. Like, you have well over 400, 500 locks for one. That to get that retwisted takes a while. And not, okay, I'm gonna say this and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, the go-to maintenance for sister locks is not retwist, actually. They do like an interlock method. Most of the ones that I've seen. I have seen some girls do the retwist way, But the girl that I was gonna get my micro locks done, she said she only does it the interlock method. And it's expensive. Like, the people who specialize in doing sister locks charge $400, $500 to get it done. And you're still looking at $200 for a retie is what they call them. So I wasn't attracted in that. I'm like, I'm getting locks to have less maintenance. Why would I get locks and have just as much maintenance as I would need for any other hairstyle I could get, right? And no shade to the girls that got sister locks, because baby, that's time and dedication, and I love it. So like I love it, but I just know myself and what I was kind of hoping to get out of my locks, and that journey just wasn't for me. So yeah, that was a long story, but to sum it all up, that's why I chose small traditional locks. Okay, so know the type of person you are, know what you like and what you don't like, and that will literally help you choose like what lock style you should go for, I fear. All right, so February 11th, we did my first set of locks, and they're the locks that I still have today, so that's lovely. Like I said, I told her I wanted small traditional locks. She did have to go back through some and like split them up, and there are some that I combined in the front, but at that time I want to say we counted like 100 and something. I remember her saying 111 because 111, we love angel numbers. But then, like I said, I combined some, and honestly, I don't even know what was going on those first couple of months. I was just trying to keep them together and alive. So I really truly don't know how many locks I have, but I would say it's probably still like 100 something, just maybe not 111. I thought my curls were going to be a little bit juicier. Like, I thought my twists were going to be a little bit juicier because I had been a natural for so long. But that just goes to show, like, I really was just thinning my hair out and damaging it. So there were, like, these little strings at first. And I loved it. Like, I was so eager to have locks. I truly do not feel like I had a ugly starter lock phase. And I hate that. Like, we shouldn't feel ugly wearing our natural hair. There's nothing ugly about it. I know we can feel a little rough because at times I did. There are times now when my hair is truly locked and I still feel like a bum. So that has nothing to do with it. I was enjoying the locks. I was literally looking at it like every 5 seconds. I would be like, oh my God, I'm locked up. My friend had a dinner party for her birthday. So I did like, I can't even remember. I'm trying to look at them. I think I like added curly extensions to them and then just wore it in a bun. I literally left that in for like that day, and then I took them out that night just because I didn't want to mess with the process of them locking. At this point, I think they had like been in for at least a week, and they were starting to thicken up just a little bit. I sprayed water every single day. I still spray water every single day. Like, to me, my hair is a plant and it responds so well to water. I did rose water when I first started off, and now I just do regular plain old water. I bought a whole gallon of aloe vera water that I'll sometimes put in the spray and spray it. But like, my hair loves water, so I still do that to this day. But yeah, I was watering it. I was making sure they were hydrated. I was really trying to like maintain my ends, my curly ends too, because I still want curly, like I gotta have some type of curl, you know? The shrinkage was real. But I was kind of used to it, and maybe that's like why it didn't bother me that much, because when I started my natural curly hair journey, I had to, like, my curls were like up here. They were super, super short. And I just kind of got used to the look of it. So it didn't really faze me. The texture wasn't really changing the first month or 2 months. Like 1 month in, we're in March now, my hair's getting frizzier and it's having more volume. And I was told since a little girl, like, usually your hair will grow like volume wise first, and then it'll drop and grow longer I don't know how true that is, but at that time I was like, oh, here's the volume, it's starting. And I'm a person that loves volume, so I love the curly twist, the look, like I loved it. So I would get a retwist every 2 weeks. And this was like, okay, so this is my second retwist that I took pictures of. Maybe not. It might be. Okay, I actually think this was my first retwist, and I just waited a little bit longer than the 2 week phase because I also know how to do retwists since my boyfriend has locks. So it was like, I'm not even gonna lie, it was low-key bugging me paying her to do my hair. But I did because they were starter locks and I didn't really know if there was a difference, and I wanted to keep like the grid pattern that she had. I didn't want to mess it up too much. So I think I just waited, and then March 13th, I did my first retwist. And it's a little bit longer, a little bit fuller. I was cutting my ends that were like just straight and not curly. I was cutting them because that's what I did when I was a loose natural. And I just know like there's no point in keeping dead ends. So in some of those pictures you can see like they're still straight. I was cutting them and wetting it every day still, trying to get those curls to pop, taking pictures. I think this is the first, so I have a picture from March 31st. This is the first time I had washed it on my own. I'm looking at April now, and my curls now are there. Like the curls have rejuvenated, they're back popping, they're healthy, they look healthier than they did before. And again, lots of frizz. I'm watching the length. April, you can kind of see them lose the pattern, the twist pattern a little bit, but they're not fully locked. But like you see a small difference, just very small, and not in all of them. I want to say like the middle of my head was like the best part that like really locked up quickly. And then April 14th, I got another retwist. I would say it still looks the same length to me. Still got some of those crazy ends. Yeah, this is a couple of days later. They're looking great. I'm like trying to find small little styles to like keep it pushed out of my face, but not manipulate it too much because I did want my locks to still be really thick. And the ones that I had in the front were really small. So I was being very cautious of the styles. I didn't even really care to style it because I thought it was cute how it was when it was down. So I was just enjoying this whole process. I was taking it all in, and I think that that's what like helped me keep such a positive attitude, because the journey was for me to feel comfortable and beautiful in my hair, and I can't start that journey off and being like, oh my god, I look like this or I look like that. It's like, no, this is different, but I like it, you know what I mean? And still to this day, like I'm not still 100% confident in them, and it's the length for me, but we'll get to that. So yeah, here are some pictures from May. I would literally be driving somewhere and just be like, oh, this is good lighting, let me take a picture of my locks, or oh, over here. For May too, I did a wig. So I did have them braided down under this wig, and I kept it in for like literally maybe a week or two. Cause I didn't want to manipulate my hair too much and mess up with the lock process. But yeah, I had this little cute bob for a little bit just because it was my boyfriend's graduation. And then after that, took it out. I washed my hair. My curls, again, they're still looking great. They're popping, a lot of frizziness. And you can still see the 2-strand twist curl pattern, which by the way, don't know if I mentioned, but I mean, obviously you kind of see it from the photos, but I did start my journey off with a 2-strand twist method. So then at this point, it's like a couple of months in, and I'm like, okay, I kind of get the process of this all. Like I can start doing my own retwist now. So I was doing my retwist. I think I got one more done from her, and then I would just style it at home. So I like did this like barrel twist almost, 2 of them to the back and into some ponytails. And I would literally keep those ponytails in for like that day and take them out that night because it hurt so bad. Whoa, just a note, if you're thinking about getting locks, just know you probably will become tender-headed. And it's fine, it's okay. So June, lots of frizz. Yeah, I feel like I was just a frizzy mess the like first 7 months, honestly. I'm like forgetting that it even looked like this, which is crazy because I'm like, when am I gonna get to that point? And now I'm like, oh my God, I was so frizzy. Okay, so June is when I started to do my own retwist though. So she had did my last one in May, and then June I was like, okay, I can do this. I was making some content videos for this reason here because I know I want to look back and see how I was doing it then. Still very small parts, but yeah, I was trying not to use that much gel either. I feel like a little bit of gel is all you need. Even aloe vera alone would work perfectly for me one time. I was doing gel, I would do aloe vera and oil. I've seen some people do just water. Like, I always tell people, listen to your hair. You know, your hair will tell you exactly what it needs. So here's a week after that. Now that retwist that I did not last at all, and I think I was just not letting it dry. So like a week later it looked how it looked, but you can tell now it's June and my like the frizz, the lock is forming. Like you can tell I'm losing the pattern and they're getting thicker, which I really enjoyed. Because like I said, I love volume, I love voluminous hair. So around this time, because it was getting so thick, the shrinkage was crazy. So I did feel like I don't feel that cute. Y'all, my eyebrows wasn't done. I was just, It was hard for me some days. I was like, ooh, I know I look a mess, but keep through it, keep strong. But yeah, no, wow. It was getting thick. I didn't even really like peep that. I just remember like the texture changing, but yeah, that's crazy. So I went back to her in July to do my retwist for 2 reasons. One, because my hair was getting really thick. I wanted to make sure I was just maintaining it okay. And 2, because I was moving out to Chicago and I had no idea when I would find another loctician. So I just wanted to be sent off on my way. I just wanted to make sure that my hair was maintained before I left. So this was my last time. We did a 2-strand twist and I had no volume. Like, look at the 2-strand twist in this picture and now look at my, and I never thought it would be here. Like I thought when I just got these done, I thought they were gonna look like this again, which is crazy. I don't know why I thought that, but yeah, my hair was still very thin. Still in the early stages of the lock journey for sure. But I was loving it. Here are all the pictures. I just hated how thin like the 2 strands were, obviously. And then I moved and I came here. I took them out and I saw the little curls and I was like, so cute. So here are some pictures of that. And then, yeah, maintain it in on my own. Wow, still very short and curly. And this is in July. I was taking these mirror pictures. Yeah, here's some more in August. I was doing a lot of like, again, the like push back and just let it fall type of look. Because I felt like people can really tell I had locks. Because you could still see my curl pattern. You could still see the 2-strand curls. Again, I was not trying to manipulate it at all, so I'm just letting it out and letting it loose. I see that naturally. I have this like figure, like this shape, like it's kind of shaped in an afro, and then my front is shorter than the rest, so it kind of looks like a bob. So sometimes I would wear it in that way. But really, I was just trying to let my hair do its own thing. And then in August, I gave myself a retwist, and you can definitely see the texture change in this now. It's like, ooh, okay, these are looking like locks now. And I did keep my ends curly, so I was maintaining my ends as well. And I would show you guys, but they're kind of tucked away for these 2 strands. Some more pictures in September after I did my own retwist. Looking crazy, girl, looking crazy. So I feel like November, I really started to love my hair and the way it was looking. They were now thick. They're now looking like locks. My ends were curly and healthy. I feel like they dropped at this point too, for sure. But yeah, November and on, they were getting really thick, and I was really enjoying that because, yeah. Oh, I'm looking at this one and I'm just like, I love it. I love the way they were looking. Like, yeah. And this is probably at the point too where I started to combine them, because doing my own retwist, like I know I had one in the back and it was like super, super small. And I was like, there's no point. Like it can just blend in with the next one. And then my ones in the front were really small too. And I don't have the finest hair texture, but it's not super coarse either. So I didn't want my front to like be breaking out. So I combined them myself. How? I don't know. I just like twisted them together, and every time I would do my retwist, I would just keep making sure that they stayed like this, and then they would like start to fuse, and then yeah, they eventually did combine, but then they weren't locking. Now I was rocking like the low pigtails because my hair was a little bit longer than it was before, or maybe it was the volume that was giving that effect, but I was like, ooh, this is cute. I went out to a game. But yeah, for the most part, I would just keep my hair pushed out of the way back and just hanging down. And then I did my own retwist before I went to Europe, and I installed my boho locks, which if you've seen my get to know me video, though, that's what I installed on myself. So that was a time. That was fun. February, I installed those boho locks, and then March came around and I still had them in. I went on my trip, I came back, I took them out, and then I got my hair done. And this was March 22nd. So this is my first time getting my hair done here out in Chicago, and by a professional. So I went to a loctician. She did a wonderful job. It took like 4 hours though, and I was just like, I'm ready to go. But yeah, no, she did good. And then I started to compare. So now I like hit that point where I'm after my 1 year mark, and I can kind of look back and see what I used to look like. And I was taking so many pictures, and Reddit showed so much love, and I was like, oh my God, maybe I should do a video on it. But yeah, I felt confident. I was like, oh, they're locks. Because I like I like the starter phase journey, and I like the curliness and how the 2-strand look. And I started to become a little nervous, like, oh, what if I like this so much, and then when they actually lock, like, they don't look like how I want them to look. And that is what everyone says. Like, do not compare your locks to someone else's, because no locks are the same. And I hated it because I want her locks. Those are the locks I want. What do you mean? I can, like, no. It needs to be that or nothing. But no, I got over it. And I was just like, they're right. Like, the locks are going to come out cute. I know my hair. I believe in them. And I spoke it into existence. And I got my hair done last Friday. So I don't even know what month we're in, y'all. It's May. Okay. So I got my hair done May 2nd to be exact. And this is my first time doing a style now that they're like locked, if that makes sense. And it's my first time trying the 2-strand twist since the stringy ones that I showed y'all earlier. So yes, I got my hair done on Friday. I zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see. And then we just 2-strand the back. So I'm gonna try to turn and hopefully it's in frame. Originally just said I wanted 2-strand twists and I was gonna go for it, but my hair is so short still. I was scared to 2-strand all of it because I didn't want it to like lay funky, and they're already like, you know, like big little dookie braids. So I was like, and then she showed me this picture and she was like, well, we can do something like that. And I was like, yeah, that's what I needed, sis. Thank you. Cause I don't know if I would have liked it yet. I'm kind of waiting for my hair to be at least right here to do like the 2 strands. Like when the 2-strand can be like right here and not just like stick up over here. So it was something a little out of my comfort, but I wanted to go for it and it turned out so cute, y'all. Like so cute, so cute. And one thing that I love about my locks is they're small enough so that I can do like parts like this. Like they're not super big. This is the one I combined, so you see it's a little bigger than the rest. But when I was doing it, I was like, well, it doesn't really look that bad. And honestly, I feel like you're not even able to really see a difference. So yes, this is where I'm at now. Sorry if that fell all over the place. It was because I didn't really plan how I was going to talk about it. I just wanted to talk about it. I appreciate you clicking on this video and watching. If you guys have any questions about how I take care of my hair, if you want to see more about my journey, if there are things that I didn't answer, please leave it down below. I love to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys. So comment, like, subscribe, do all of that. And for anybody watching this video that's undecided if they want to choose locks or not, the answer is yes. Do it. Yes, you will. You will. I'm telling you, you will. Honestly, I wish I would have locked my hair sooner. I don't know why I waited so long. I don't know why I was playing. I don't know why I thought they weren't as versatile. I don't know. But I wish I would have locked my hair sooner. The compliments that I get from other women with locks, I feel like we're in this community. I feel beautiful. I can just wake up and go. I do wake up and go. I am in love with myself all over again, and it's so freeing, and I feel like that freeness is aligned with who I am and my personality. So I've just been having a ball. I've been having a time. I love watching it change. I love watching it grow. 2 years from now, 5 years from now, who knows how long it'll be before I do another like my lock journey video. But they're gonna be long. Like that is crazy, and I'm gonna look back on this video and be like, what? I'll probably miss it. Everybody's like, love this phase of your locks because you're gonna miss it and they'll never be that short again. So I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying. But yes, the point was to do it because you can feel this way too. I would love for all my queens and kings and everything in between to feel that way. So if you're thinking about getting locks, do it. What are you waiting for? That is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if this video helped. I love you guys so much. Mwah. And as always, stay tuned for the next one. See ya.